Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The courtroom was packed with tension, the kind of silence that feels heavy, like the weight of years of secrets, betrayal, and financial deceit had finally come crashing into one space. Kody Brown, the patriarch of Sister Wives, once took pride in being the ultimate head of a sprawling plural family empire. Now he was hunched over at the defendant's table, looking visibly shaken, fiddling with his papers, and refusing to look at the people whose last names he used to share. Sister Wives viewers had witnessed the Brown family's fractures deepen into chasms of mistrust, jealousy, and resentment for years. However, not many people could have foreseen that the final collapse would occur not only as a result of divorce, but also as a result of the icy, unforgiving reality of a courtroom showdown, which was centered on a shocking $150,000 financial scandal that shocked fans and permanently tore the Brown family apart. As Christine, Janelle, and Meri, all three former sister wives who had long distanced themselves from Kody's grasp, stood firm and united against him, Robyn Brown, the once defended and protected favorite wife, broke down in the middle of the testimony. The women, who had fought for years to get Kody's attention, were now allies, revealing receipts, bank transfers, and years of poor management that presented a very different picture of the self-described patriarch. The scandal didn't just involve questionable spending or minor mistakes. It involved misused family funds, shady withdrawals, and accusations that Kody funneled money meant for the family into private accounts controlled by him and Robyn. For years, fans speculated that Robyn had become the sole focus of Kody's love and financial security, while the other wives were left scrambling to fend for themselves. Fans questioned why money always seemed to flow toward Robyn's extravagant lifestyle and enormous home while Janelle, Christine, and Meri were left financially strapped after the Coyote Pass land debacle. Those suspicions were now made painfully clear inside the courtroom. Janelle, known for her calm but firm demeanor, delivered testimony so precise and backed with documentation that the judge visibly leaned forward, eyebrows raised at the magnitude of the evidence. Christine, whose independence and ferocity had grown since she had left Kody, portrayed years of sacrifice while Kody diverted resources elsewhere, adding emotional weight to the facts. And perhaps the most damning testimony of all was provided by Meri, who was frequently portrayed as the quiet, devoted wife who endured humiliation for decades. Her voice cracked as she revealed that she had once trusted Kody with tens of thousands of dollars that she believed were being invested into the family's future, only to learn that the money had vanished into what she now believed was Robyn's personal empire. The $150,000 scandal that was at the center of this courtroom dispute was not just about the money. Rather, it was about trust, betrayal, and the unraveling of a man whose life was built on control. The funds in question were reportedly tied to family business ventures, earnings from TLC's lucrative contract, and the supposed pooling of resources for the Coyote Pass land project. But instead of being distributed fairly, Christine and Janelle claimed, the money had been siphoned into Robyn's accounts, hidden under the guise of family expenses and emergency needs. Credit card charges that were suspiciously aligned with Robyn's shopping sprees and transfers that appeared to completely bypass any of the other wives were all documented in documents presented to the court. It was financial favoritism laid bare, and it destroyed any lingering illusion that Kody had been an impartial leader of his once plural household. One of the most shocking moments of the trial was Robyn's breakdown in court. Robyn buried her face in her hands and wept uncontrollably as Christine held up one particularly suspect bank statement. She mumbled through her tears that it wasn't supposed to be like this at one point, but the judge put an end to her show by reminding her that the evidence was indisputable. Even some of Robyn's supporters struggled to reconcile the woman crying on the stand with the damning receipts that were being presented, but viewers who had long suspected Robyn of manipulating felt that she had been cleared. Kody, on the other hand, appeared to be trapped. Gone was the confident bravado he displayed on television, the self-assured patriarch who believed his way was the only way. Instead, he shuffled papers, mumbled objections that his lawyer quickly silenced, and glared daggers at his former wives. Kody clenched his jaw so tightly that even the court stenographer noticed the tension in the room when Janelle described how she had contributed tens of thousands of dollars to the family land project, only to discover that the money had never been distributed as promised. The equally brutal testimony of Christine was that she accused Kody of emotionally manipulating the family into thinking that financial sacrifices were for the greater good, when in fact he was padding Robyn's security. Christine declared, her voice echoing throughout the courtroom, "It was never about family. It was always about Robyn." Meri's testimony was even more impactful because it came from the wife who had supported Kody for the longest time, frequently at her own peril. She revealed that Kody persuaded her to sell assets connected to her in business in order to help the family move forward, at a particularly vulnerable time. She gave nearly $40,000, which she believed was going into the Coyote Pass property as investments. Years later, she discovered that the money was gone, never used for land payments, and instead absorbed into accounts linked to Kody and Robyn. The deceit was evident. "I defended him when no one else would," Meri said through tears. "And he used me." Her words left the courtroom stunned, as even Robyn looked shaken hearing the extent of Kody's manipulation. Kody's defense fell apart as the trial went on. His attorney tried to say that the money was family money, and that the patriarch had discretionary control over how to use it. But the judge was unconvinced, particularly after Janelle produced detailed spreadsheets of payments, withdrawals, and bank account activity that showed clear discrepancies. Christine added context by explaining how the other wives were often left struggling to pay their own bills, while Robyn lived in a $500,000 home with every comfort imaginable. The image was damning. 3 wives scraping by while one enjoyed the benefits of what was supposed to be shared income. The courtroom atmosphere was electrified with drama, each revelation more shocking than the last. Fans outside the courthouse held signs reading, "Justice for Christine," and "Free Janelle," while reporters swarmed every recess to capture reactions. Inside, with each testimony, Kody's once firm grip on the story of his family was falling apart. The patriarch, who once insisted on obedience and loyalty, was now depicted as a man who took advantage of his wives, drained their resources, and hid behind the facade of family unity, while secretly funneling funds to support his preferred wife. The $150,000 scandal was more than just a bunch of numbers on a page. It was a representation of everything the Brown family had become. It symbolized years of favoritism, broken promises, and unrecognized sacrifices. For Christine, it was the final confirmation that leaving Kody had been the best decision of her life. It demonstrated to Janelle that her instincts regarding financial mismanagement had always been correct. It was the devastating realization that her loyalty had been taken advantage of. And for Robyn, it was the public fall of her carefully constructed image as the victim of family conflict. Her breakdown in court not only established her position at the center of the scandal, but also exposed the flaws in her armor.